Practising Violin with Jennifer Clift. In this video I'm going to work through the piece Pastime with Good Company, which is a song originally for 3 voices attributed to King Henry VIII, and you can find it in grade 3 of the Royal Schools of Music exam board. I'm going to go through it 3 ways. The first way, I will work through the piece, making comments, talking about different aspects, the same as if I was working with a student. Then I'm going to do a slow practice run. I'll put the metronome on and play all the way through it at a slow tempo. And then finally I'll play it up to the tempo that you would need to play in the exam. And this is what Pastime looks like in the music. Okay, so Pastime is in the key of G minor, which means that we're going to have a low 1 on the A string with that B flat. So we're going to have to be pulling back our first finger to get that one in tune. And it's in 4/4. So the first, I count the first bar like this: 1 and 3 and the second bar 1 and 2 and 3. So that's how we're going to be counting it. Now, I think of this piece as quite vigorous. We're starting with mezzo forte, and we want to be using the whole bow for this first bar, and we're going to use a hooked bow. So our bow, this was how the bow would be without our fingers. We're going to think 1 and 3. So we use most of the bow and then a little one for the 8th note, and then most of the bow and another little 8th note. And then we're adding our left hand, so we have a 3. We're going to prepare the first 2 notes, the G, so 3rd finger on the D, and the low one, the B flat, on the A string. So pulling back there, and then we can do that first bar, 1 and 3. And then we're going to be in the heel, short little notes for here to give it a sort of jaunty feel. 1 and 2 and 3. And then we end up just about halfway through the bow here, and then we're keeping our first finger back because we're going to now do an up bow, quick up bow, quite light, don't hit it. And now the B. And now we get to where we start playing around with the minor. So we start first with an F natural, pull back that 2nd finger. Sorry, I wasn't quite in tune. Once again. And then we put our 2nd finger right behind the 3rd to make an F sharp now. The second line's pretty much the same. It's forte, so we're going to a little bit more weight on the bow, close to the bridge. So that's the second line. Now we're going to go piano. So we're right near here in the heel, and just very light, very little bows. So another F natural here. Again. Be very careful each time you come back to this F natural, the 2nd finger, that it's the same. It doesn't go sharp or flat each time. Really listening, and it's even a good idea just to play those 4 notes if you have a keyboard. F, G, A, B flat, play them on the keyboard, listen to them, even sing them back to yourself so you're getting those in tune each time. Now a crescendo. Very careful with that dotted rhythm that you don't hit the up bow. So it's just light. Again. Again. Crescendo. And now forte. And then thinking 2E and E3. Make sure you use a 4th finger there. We're not going to change strings, so stretch your 4th finger out. And give yourself time there to get back to the heel. The second verse divisions, this is like a jazzed up version of the first half. Now, the idea is to keep short bows so that it's very crisp, very clear. All right, so we've got this first little. So we're just playing around with the same notes most of the time. And then here, careful, we've got a whole bow there because we've had this rhythm similar before, but no, it's later when it goes 1 and. Here it's 1, 2 and 3. So we're going to play bar 17, whole bow for the first crotchet. Then in the upper half and a whole bow. So we're back to the lower half for these notes. Very short little bows. The final one with a fourth finger. And the upbeat. So we've come to 3 and then we go and 1. Alright, now we've bar 20, we stop the bow and then just where you are we're going to just do another little note and then a light, quick, light upbeat, up bow. Same thing. This is the only tricky rhythm in the whole piece. So we're going to think 1 and E and 3 and E and E. So once again I'll just play it once more for you. 1 and E and. So short and light. 3 and E and E, and then as before, fourth finger and right behind for the F sharp. As you're playing that 3, lift the second finger and step backwards with it for another F natural. Careful to hook in the up bow. Sort of tricky, we're going round, doing turns around. One way to practice this is not to play every single note. We're going to practice, so I'm talking about bar 24 here. We're going to practice every other note. So we're going to play the G, not the B flat, but now the A, and now the next A, and a C natural, and a B flat. So I've played the notes on 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, I'll do that fast and I'm going to do them all down bows. And now I'm going to add in all the notes, but I'm only going to think 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. And then I continue. This next bar coming up, very careful that we hear the silence. So we're going to be thinking in 26, 1 and 2 and 3. So 1, stop the bow, stop, and then an up bow, fourth finger, and now up bow forte, so we're going to get right to the heel. Careful, next is a fourth finger because it's an E flat, and then down the scale. The next 2 notes, the A and the G, I slur so that I then will end on a down bow. So I'm going to do the A, G, and then and a long forte sound to end. So now I'm going to do a slow playthrough. I'm going to set the metronome at crotchet or quarter note at 52, and so then you can play it through with me and really making sure that the rhythms, the notes, everything is completely accurate. Okay, so there's our metronome. I'll count in 1, 2, prepare your hand, 3, 4. to play through at an acceptable exam tempo. I'm going to put the metronome on at 84 now. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. With a little rip there at the end just to end. I hope you find this video helpful for preparing and practicing pastime, and good luck in your exam. Let me know in the comments below when you're going to do your exam and how you get on. Okay, thanks.